Hi, my name's Tom McGee. I'm a certified personal trainer. Thank you so much for joining me. And today we're going to go through a full body workout together. We're going to start with some dynamic movements and get your body moving. Then we're going to move on to some lower and upper body exercises and focus on some compound movements. Finally, we're going to finish strong and focus on some core. To start, we're going to do the world's greatest stretch. This is to help your mobility in your hips and also loosen up your glutes and thoracic spine. All right, so now you're going to join me on the floor and we're going to go into a push-up position together. Once you're here, get your core tight and we're going to bring our left foot all the way up to where our left hand is. Keep that back leg straight for me. And now I'm gonna take this left hand and bring it all the way up to the ceiling and get a nice stretch here in our thoracic spine. Now let's bring it back down to the floor and we're gonna go back to that original push-up position. Now we're gonna do the same exact thing on the other side. So bring that right foot up to where your right hand is. You're gonna feel a nice stretch in that groin and then we're gonna lift that right hand all the way up to the ceiling, getting a full extension, keeping that back leg straight. And now we're gonna put that hand back down in the original position and go back to the push-up. Warm-up exercise number 2, pogo jumps. We're gonna take our shoes off for this because we have muscles in our feet and we wanna be able to use them. This is to help increase your heart rate and get your body primed for doing the compound movements that are coming next. The pogo jumps, what you wanna do is be on the ball of your feet. You wanna get your lift primarily from your feet and that big toe pushing down into the floor, and you wanna explode up as high as you can. So when you're doing this, try to avoid your heels touching the ground. We're gonna get our hips up together and really push that big toe into the floor and get that height. When doing the pogo jump, you wanna keep your body stiff, bring your hips up, and keep some soft knees. What you wanna avoid is having your knees come down in this type of motion. So really keep your body stiff, get that height, and don't let those heels touch the floor. Circuit 1 is gonna be lower body focused. This is gonna be a superset, which means 2 exercises. You're gonna go from one exercise immediately into the second one. Then you're gonna take your rest once they're both completed. Now that we wrapped up our warm-up, we're gonna go into our first exercise. This is gonna be the dual dumbbell front squat. For this, it's gonna primarily work your glutes, quads, and core. The second exercise is going to be a reverse lunge. This is gonna target primarily your glutes and quads while doing this. Dual dumbbell front squat. So when we're doing this, one of the most important things is to make sure our feet are a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. I feel most comfortable having my toes pointed out just slightly. And I want you to pretend that you're in, let's say, a pool. The water line's up to your shoulders. And once you go under that water line, you have to hold your breath and brace your core. So let's practice. Hold the breath. And then you can exhale once you're above it. That's gonna help maintain core stability, which will help you lift more and protect your back. Now let's clean these dumbbells both up to the front. Clean them up here. Take that deep breath in, tighten the core, and snap those hips up at the top because we want to be explosive. Knees should be falling over your toes. Make sure you keep your chest upright. Dumbbell reverse lunges. So when you're doing this, you're gonna have your feet together at the top, then you're gonna bring one leg back, make sure your legs are at 90 degrees. That knee that's down can just graze the floor, and then I want you to think about primarily using that front leg to drive yourself back up to the top. So now we're gonna grab the dumbbells and I'm gonna walk through this with you. So once we're up here in this position, we're gonna keep our core braced, shoulders upright, and now we're gonna go back into that reverse lunge and explode back up to the top. Let's go back down. Using that front leg to drive yourself all the way back up. I know you're sweating like me. Trust me, I feel it. This is the hardest part, but you know what? You came here for a reason. We're gonna get through this together. Let's get a few more reps and let's go, guys. Bring that leg down and up. Circuit 2 is gonna be upper body focused. This will also be a superset. The first exercise in the second circuit is gonna be a half kneeling overhead press. This is gonna target our shoulders and core. Second exercise is gonna be a renegade row with a push-up. This is gonna work our core, chest, and back. Now we're gonna do a half kneeling single arm overhead dumbbell press. When you do this, you wanna make sure both your legs are at 90 degrees and you wanna tuck that pelvis forward. You might get a little stretch in your hip flexor, flex this butt cheek, and now we're gonna clean this dumbbell all the way up to your chest. Once we're in this position, I want you to make a fist with this opposite hand that doesn't have the dumbbell. Take a deep breath, tighten your abs, and press that dumbbell straight overhead so your arms are in line with your ear. So you can progress this exercise by where the front of your foot is. If you bring it out a little farther, you'll have a little more stability. If you bring it closer in, it's gonna challenge your balance and it's gonna make that weight feel a little bit harder. So when we're going into the renegade rows, we wanna have our hands just about shoulder width apart. Then we're gonna go into a push-up position. I like to have my feet a little bit wider to give myself more stability. Something else to remember while you're doing this is keep that pelvis tucked in and engage your core. We don't want that lower back sagging like this. So keep it tucked in, brace your core, bring one side in, try to keep those hips from moving side to side. After you do a rep on each side, come down into a push-up and explode back up. That's one rep. 1, 2, down and up. Good job, guys. Let's keep going. For our third and final circuit, we're gonna finish strong and focus on our core. For the first exercise, we're gonna focus on V sit-ups, which are gonna target our abdominals. For the final exercise, we're gonna do a plank with a hip rotation. This is gonna primarily target our obliques. All right, so now the V sit-up. What we're gonna do is we're gonna lay back down on the floor together, make sure that lower back is really tucked down, and you wanna now extend those legs out almost in a hollow hold position. Bring those arms forward. You should now feel that core contraction just from this position. And then what I wanna do is let's move our legs and chest up at the same time in unison, just like this. And if you notice, my eyes are locked straight forward while we're doing this. And something else I'm gonna be doing is exhaling on the way up. That's gonna help you get a little bit more of a contraction in your core. Now we're gonna go into a plank and we're gonna add a dynamic movement into it by moving our hips from side to side. So when we come down into plank, you wanna have your hands firm down on the floor and then you wanna bring your legs out. For this movement, we wanna have our legs a little bit wider. We don't want our feet together. It's just gonna help with stability. Make sure that pelvis is tucked in, core is engaged. So now we're in a regular plank. And then we're gonna rotate our hips from side to side. So dip that hip down and then rotate to the other side, just like this. So now we wanna make sure you keep your head up and core engaged throughout this entire movement from top to bottom. All right, we're halfway through. It's burning, I feel it, I'm with you guys. Let's just keep going, we're almost there. Woo! It's the last one, and then we can enjoy the rest of our day. Let's go, guys, come on, keep pushing. All right, guys, we're doing the countdown together. Let's go for 5 more seconds. Don't give up on me, I know it's burning. Come on, let's go, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's go, guys. You deserve this. You got through it with me. I love you guys. We're gonna now wrap up with the cool down. When we're doing this, we're gonna do a toe touch, and this is primarily gonna target our hamstrings and stretch our lower back. So now we're gonna go into a toe touch. What I want you to do is just relax, let your body hang over, do your best to try to touch the floor. A lot of us are probably gonna be tight, including me. So what I want you to focus on is taking some really deep breaths in through your nose, filling up that stomach with air, and out through your mouth. So after each deep breath, you should really feel your hamstrings and your lower back starting to loosen up and get lower to the floor. Once you're all the way down, I want you to now inch your way back up, vertebrae by vertebrae, and then bring these arms out nice and wide, all the way to the top. Let's cross these hands, and let's lean to the right, and you're gonna get a nice stretch in your lat muscle here. And now we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. come back to the top. Bring those arms nice down and wide. Good job, guys. Congratulations, we did it. Remember, you are in control, and I'll see you next time.